The departure of Saint John Chrysostom. On this day, the Honorable Saint John of the Golden Mouth, Chrysostom, departed. He was born in the city of Antioch around the year 347 AD to a rich father whose name was Sacondos and a pious mother whose name was Antosa. They brought him up and reared him in the Christian tradition. He went to the city of Athens, where he learned the Greek wisdom in one of its schools. He surpassed many knowledge in virtue. He forsook the vanities of the world and became a monk at a young age in one of the monasteries. He had a friend whose name was Basilius, who was monk before him in that monastery. They had the same interests and they practiced many virtues. When his father departed, Saint John did not keep any of his brother's possessions, but gave all in but gave all of his inheritance to the poor and the needy. He then lived a ascetic life full of strife. In the monastery, there was a Syrian hermit whose name was Ansosinos. One day he saw the apostles Peter and John entering when the golden mouth was. Saint John the Apostle gave him a Bible and told him, "Do not be afraid. Whosoever you shall bind shall be bound, and whosoever you shall be loosed." The old hermit therefore released that Saint John Chrysostom would be a faithful shepherd. The grace of the Lord filled John Chrysostom, and he wrote homilies and sermons, and he interpreted many books while he was still a deacon. It was Saint Melatius, Patriarch of Antioch, who had raised him to this rank. Then he was ordained. Then he was ordained by a priest of Saint Flavianus, Saint Melatius' successor, by the guidance of the angel of the Lord. When Nectarius, Patriarch of Constantinople, departed, Emperor Arcadius summoned Saint John Chrysostom and made him patriarch. He conducted himself during his patriarchate in an apostolic manner. He continued teaching, preaching, and interpreting the books of the church, both old and new. He boldly admonished the sinners and the wealthy, regardless of their authority of wealth. Queen Evdoxia, the wife of Emperor Arcadius, at the last for money. She took a garden which belonged to a poor widow by force. The latter complained to the saint, who went to the queen and admonished her and asked her to return the garden to its owner. When Evdoxia did not obey him, he prevented her from entering the church and partaking of the Holy Communion. She became exceedingly angry and gathered a council of bishops whom Saint John had previously excommunicated for their evil deeds and their mismanagement. They sentenced the saint to be exiled. He was exiled to the island of Thrace, but exile did not last more than one night. The people were enraged and they gathered around the royal palace, demanding the return of the patriarch. While the people were sorrowful because of the righteous shepherd, a severe earthquake took place and almost destroyed the city, terrifying everyone. The people thought that this was a sign of the Lord's anger, caused by the exile of the saint. As for Evdoxia, she was disturbed. Her soul was troubled, and she went in haste to her husband and asked him to bring back the saint from exile. Once the light of shepherd shone on his flock, the sorrow changed to joy, and their wailing was replaced by songs of joy and happiness. This state of affairs did not last long. There was a large square beside the church of Hagia Sophia, where a large silver statue of Queen Evdoxia was erected. On the day of its dedication, some common people danced madly, played profligate games, until they were immersed in immortality and sin. Because of St. John's zeal to curb the spirit of immortality, he repudiated the people in his sermons, courageously showing his disapproval of their behavior. His enemies took advantage of his zeal and accused him before the queen of having said that Herodias had risen up and danced and asked for the head of John the Baptist on a plate. This cold accusation gave the queen a good reason to sentence him to exile. She instructed the soldiers who were in charge of guarding him not give him any means of comfort during his travel. Thus they moved him from one place to another hastily until they came to a city called Comana, where his health deteriorated, and he died in peace in the year 407 AD. During the reign of Theodosius II, the son of Emperor Arcadius, who exiled Saint John. The body of Saint John was taken to Constantinople, where it was placed in the Church of the Apostles. His prayers be with us, and glory be to our God forever. Amen.